During my 8 years in business, I realized that I can't really help the black child on the level that I want without helping the black parent, because the black parent is the first educator. And so over the years, when I first started, I was so excited and I was like, okay, this is going to help us. Our children are going to learn their history and they're going to love themselves and everything's going to be great. But that's not enough. You could create as many toys, as many animation films, as many books, as many educational tools that teach black history or global African history. And it doesn't matter if the parent or the black adult in the child's life is not reinforcing the message or does not really understand the importance of it. A lot of adults don't know what to do. And so part of that is because of their own upbringing and the time that they were raised. So, with that being said, I have taken out a lot of time in 2024. I took out a lot of time to study and research and figure out how to be more helpful to the black adult so that we can help ourselves as a community. Because really, the only way to reach our full potential is to invest in the youth. But the adult, the black parent, has to know that that is the key and that is what's important. Now, this doesn't pertain to all black adults, but it pertains to a lot, if not most. And we can see it really in our reality as a people, right? So, for example, a lot of black parents really look to the school system to teach their children, to educate their children. And they leave themselves out of the equation to really be the first educator. That's why so many black parents will say, they're not teaching our children history. Well, the common sense of it all is that black people living in America are a dominated people. They're living in a system that is created by another culture. So you can't expect for another culture to educate you. This is the common sense of it all. But even though we know that, people are still almost living in the twilight zone where they're expecting someone to teach them through begging and asking, and that doesn't work. Black people have been asking for a long time for the school systems to teach more black history. But it makes sense why they would not. Because I think many of you don't really understand what racism really is. And racism is not about race. It's never been about, oh, you look different. No one cares about that. What they care about is how do we dominate you for as long as possible so that you can be exploited for as long as possible, if not indefinitely. All right? So I spend a lot of time researching, trying to figure out how to free the mind of black people, because black people have been dominated for so long that their mindset a lot of times is really what I consider a slave mentality. Okay? Where, you know, they think through the lens of a captive person, even though they're physically free. So, with that being said, I created this course called How to Educate Black Children. It's for any black adult who really want to learn how to free themselves from the slave mentality and how to understand what's going on so that they could be more helpful and learn how to educate black children. Okay, the solutions are there, as well as the what, where, and why, how all of this has happened and how, why it's still going on. Okay, so if you want to learn more, take the course. And if you don't want to take the course, you do have access to publications and things that I have read to study to learn more about this. So if you click on the link, you can have, you know, uh, my reference list of the things that I studied. Most of it is in there for you to take a deep dive on your own and learn on your own. Okay. I also did a lot of, field research, obviously talking to people, okay, listening a lot, having discussions and doing a lot of observing and a whole lot, right? So, Anyway, I've learned a lot. I want to share that with you. I want you to know that I love you. I pray the best for the global African community and for us to get out of the slave mentality. But for that to happen, you have to be aware, and you have to use your critical thinking skills. Okay? There's a few things that you can think about that let you know whether or not you definitely may want to um, consider your thoughts, right? So if you know that you have thoughts that work against your best interest and the black interest, black community's best interest, then you know that there's some work to do. You know, colorism, um, wanting to travel everywhere in the world besides Africa. Clearly, there must be something there, right, in regards to slave mentality, because why wouldn't you be interested in a place that your ancestors come from, which is who you are, right? You don't exist without the ancestors who came before you. So there's a lot of work to do, all right? Anyway, I'm not going to talk any further. I'm not going to lecture, but click on the link if you want access to my references, the things that I've studied to learn more and to be more helpful to us. Or you could take the course, all right? All right. Bye.